fast forward in the week that you may have been looking at my Instagram or my Tumblr. Here is how the armor looks now, and I'm going to be, I think, very likely permanently attaching this piece here. I have to make sure that it's fitted very well to my chest and my shoulders before I do any of that, and I kind of want to do the lining as well as the shoulder pads for comfort, because yay, this thing has quite a lot of shoulder weight to it, so I want to make sure that that's comfortable too. That's just like additional thickness of foam. Raw! Look! Oh wait, yeah. My wife cut out a foam dagger just to like you want to make a foam dagger out of the upholstered foam? I'm like, maybe, but I don't think it would really be all that useful in education. Alright, so before we start, what I'm doing here is I'm sanding down the lip of the neck piece here. It's built up from paper clay, and paper clay is nice because you can sculpt with it while it's wet and then let it cure to then sand it or whittle it and things you would do with soft wood. So it has kind of both of those advantages at once. The disadvantage is that it takes quite a while to actually dry if you want to get to that state. Other materials are much more time effective. But it's taking well to the PVC. The transition here is probably going to be pretty rough because they're very different textures. So I'm going to experiment and see how I can mitigate that as best I can. We'll see how that goes. But for right now, I want to even out the collar. You see it's not exactly even all the way around. It's not exactly smooth. There's a bit of lump there. And just kind of do some sanding. And while we do so, I want, today's the 12th? Yes. So tomorrow, I'm hoping to get an email from Daishokan on whether or not my panel was accepted for that convention, because it's pretty important. I want to work on getting my panel fine-tuned, practiced, and nice, because I would like to expand upon it in the future. I want to do I got plans for future panels as well. Now that is a 2-hour rant. I don't know if once I get a few of these going, I got them, once I got a few panels solid as far as their composition, I'm going to probably try and get the panelist badge and such, so forth, as well as bring content to you guys. Oh well. So, we'll see how that goes. Hello, cat. You are attempting to climb upon the highest things. Oh, he's trying to get on boxes. And hopefully he will not destroy boxes or knock them down. Okay, so what my plans are for the panels are, I want to get not just the daggers I have now, because the daggers I have now are demonstration pieces, more or less, as much as possible, I should say, as much as possible made of one type of material, like one made of paper clay. It's like almost 100% paper clay. It's not 100% paper clay, but eventually, once you got the hang and you understand the basics of each individual material, you want to move on to composite work, working with and taking advantage of and compensating for the various abilities and tendencies of the material. So what I'm going to do is, I think it's Apocalypticon, Corey, one of Corey's conventions. I applied for an hour panel for that. That is definitely not long enough. Like, I kind of got through all of my daggers in the RamenCon panel, but that 1 hour I will definitely not be able to get through all of the materials in any kind of attic sense. They're not even not even of cursory or I can't go into very much detail because I don't have time. Rah, rah, rah. Using fancy words, great, whatever. There you go, you guys got it. So, what I'm thinking about is getting, doing a secondary panel and having it separate for composite works, because composite works are where you start having fun and start getting to do more versatile things with construction. So I'm not 100% at this exact moment on doing those panels. I want to flesh out and practice doing the panel I have, having practice the PowerPointing and the presentation and working a crowd. And look at this. See, the problem here is that it's so little surface area that's not easily bonded. I'm going to try this again. Here we got a clamp. And I'm going to take out my glue and I'm going to glue this in a second. So, even beyond the daggers are armor and sewing. Sewing is way kind of down the line, maybe next year or something, when I can get, we certainly have the fabric for it, but when I get more confident in in doing these sorts of panels. I also want to practice some of the, I don't know, I would consider sewing one of my weaker skill sets in costume construction. I think the weakest is probably maybe wigs or makeup, maybe, I don't know. Anyway. But I would want to have more expertise in that field before I start doing those sorts of panels. So, let me see. Here we go. This side's a little bit fatter than that side. So I'm just very carefully, or I gotta sand it away. Once I do get it sanded away, I can add to it and make it more even, but this is just a quicker way of achieving that, and I don't want it to be super thick. I'm aiming for around 5/8 to a 1/4 inch. Sorry, 5/8 to a 1/2 inch. Wait, yeah, there we go. Thickness on the brim here. One thing I'm still kind of contemplating is the armor that I would do for a similar panel, but I want to do, because the daggers are medieval themed, I want to do a sci-fi theme for the armor. Just to give a bit of variation. I just don't know what sort of, if you guys have any ideas. I don't want to go, the Iron Dagger is okay because it's like, an Iron Dagger is very hard to copyright. Because it's just a dagger, right? Like, that's such a common item that it's really hard to argue that. But sci-fi armors, I don't want to go for like straight up an Iron Man helmet or a Mass Effect helmet or something like that. Find a kind of more general helmet to make for the sci-fi. What's still interesting and easily, or maybe even armor. Just I don't know. I'm thinking about a helmet, but maybe some sort of other armor, so that it looks nice and I don't get in trouble with anyone if they pitch a fit about me making a ton of these pieces of armor or helmets or whatever. It's a pain in the butt. And I've also contemplated, I'm thinking about doing different sorts of panels, such as 101 of commissioning or 101 on getting a commissioner. The background, the dark, or the inside look at competitive cosplay. These are other things that I thought about, because I feel I certainly could fill an hour on the strategies, quote unquote, for getting a good commissioner, being a good commissioner, and going to cosplay competitions. and maybe not winning, but having a better experience. Because you certainly can ruin your own experience if you don't have the if you don't have a positive mindset. And all of these things are kind of, I feel, might be kind of scary to people. So if these kind of ideas are something you would personally be interested in hearing about, it would totally support me doing panels on those things, because I have a fair amount of experience in those fields. I do enjoy competitive cosplay, and I've been running commission guilds and being a commissioner for a number of years. So I feel like those insights could be helpful. Oh well. But right now, I think the next time I do a panel, I'm going to try and get someone to do a video of it and try to get photography of it, because that could help in just general presentation for, say, an image. Yeah, like an image for the event, so people can see what they're coming and what they should be expect to see. Actually, I should get some good pictures. I still need to get some good pictures for my iron daggers. I've been so busy, I can't get that done. Hopefully, some new locations will open up and I'll be able to take new photographs. Because this apartment is not great for the range of, like, it doesn't have a lot of good spots for photography. I remember the place up in that I was up in like 2 years ago had like a golf course nearby, and then all these little nooks and crannies. It was great. I could just take a picture, and it was fairly close to construction, so I got some construction shots, or some like industrial zone kind of things. And there we go. Alright. I'm also trying to round these out because my ears are going to butt up against these, and I don't want them to hit a hard edge. That is not exactly pleasant. So, most of this is not going to be visible, as I'm going to have these plates on here. I don't remember if this is exactly upside down or what the story is, but it'll be like that, and then like that. So it'll be hard to kind of see them, but it's me. I gotta make sure that even if people can't see them, it's nice and correct. Oh well. Like, I think the next thing to do is I'm looking at the renderings, and I got these kind of train like caterpillar things for the side, but they sit so weird and they tend to like not be straight. I wonder if these are supposed to be scales. I'm not sure. I'll think about it. But I might be redoing these. I know at least this crystal, this is all round and like cute-ish. I think that redoing these at the very least into more angular crystal-like shape would be beneficial. So I'm going to take a look at that and see what I think of that. I also want to have a good way of hooking them together so they don't spin around constantly. Kind of annoying. They also just take up too much volume. They sit on the side and they plank around. I'm not really happy with how they sit on the armor while I'm moving around, and how they. Oh well, those are things I'm thinking about. We're going to do in the future. We're really getting close to leather work here. There's only a few more things I want to get taken care of before I move on to leather work. And I've been watching a few leather worker streams just to brush up on that, because I was not happy at all with the leather work I did last time. I got a ton of straps and such to go through before, and I'm going to be doing all the painting all at once. So I'm actually going to be mounting the entire armor together and making sure it functions correctly, and then taking it apart again for the paint, and then we'll paint it. So this is actually a fair bit of time away from actually painting it, and then it'll just explode and be done. So I don't know, I might stream it being painted. It'll take a few days. I'll do it in bursts because I want to let things cure and look nice. Because, well, I think I covered this in the last videos. I didn't let some of the triple stick varnish cure correctly, so that didn't come out the way I wanted it to. Oh well. So it's getting there. One thing I like to do when I'm sanding is I just walk away from it for a little bit, because you can look at something for so long that there's no way you can't see what you've messed up. But if you can come back and look at it and be happy with it, then you're probably at a state where you're fine. Because you do get to a point in sculpting and I guess artistry in general where messing with it will actually make it worse. You're messing up more things than you're fixing. And sometimes there's just no going back from that. Like, I'm not really happy with this curvature right here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start carving this out a little bit to get a better curvature. And do I want to use this tool? Not particularly. Yeah. Oh well, I'm going to fiddle with this, guys. Actually, I could use a file. Where's the file at? File! File, file, file! I know there's a file around here. Oh well, actually guys, I'll see you next week. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know about your thoughts with my panels and with things you want to see. See you guys next time. Good time to all. Hey, looks like you made it all the way to the end. If you're interested in more new tutorials, con coverage, and other cosplay shenanigans every week, hit that sub button to get it delivered hot and fresh to you.